All right, kids, let's do it live on a Football Friday edition. More bitter than sweet, more sweet than bitter. We're going to Detroit, baby!
Motor City, home of DLD, where we had a great run.
Oh, God.
They're going to welcome us with open arms.
Where you guys been?
It's going to be great. Yeah,
Where you been, man?
Where you been?
Where you been?
We know you like Goff. Where you been?
We went with Stafford. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, sorry.
Front runners. Front runners.
I'll tell you what. The images coming out of Buffalo lead me to believe they made a wise decision because I just don't see how there's already been 3 feet. I don't see how it would be even possible to get this stadium if it were to continue to snow to even get the stadium ready, let alone all the resources that would be needed to make sure people can live their lives relatively safely during this time should not be diverted to a football game. So good job by the NFL because this is those pictures are crazy. Like it's halfway up the goalposts.
When I saw the
or the stanchion, I should say, of the goalpost.
Yeah, when I saw that would be something if it was that would be end of tomorrow type stuff.
Yeah.
When I saw the image, the first image I saw from there was actually from Von Miller this morning outside of his home, and it was like 3 feet of snow on top of his SUV. And he said, and you just, yeah. Great question. Why isn't it in the garage? I have no idea.
Von Miller feels like a man of consequence that would have the necessary means to have say the number of car garage, pick a number.
Maybe there's only a finite amount of those type of homes in Buffalo, or well, maybe there is. I mean, maybe they're all gobbled up. Or, I mean, he's not going to build. He's going to be there for a year and he's done. So the only other thing I thought of is maybe he has the one outside and he's got like 3 in the garages.
Again, he would have a 4-car garage, 5-car garage.
But I don't know. Like, do you think like that's just
there are in Cleveland?
I understand we're a much bigger
infinite
city,
supply of those homes.
There are a lot of them here. I don't know that
there's money in Buffalo,
but it's much. No, I know that there is, but is it an infinite supply of them, or if you wanted to rent, like, are they available for that?
I don't know. I'd feel like he's Von Miller.
I would just say, like, I've seen sometimes you come across, you see like a professional athlete's home, and it's like a place where they are for a few months, and it's not necessarily
no doubt fair. I feel like then he would have had somebody come out and build a what are those things called, Gibbe? Or you build like a little roof over where the car would be parked,
like
so that would be
yeah,
like a carport. Yeah,
I feel like those crumble under 3 feet of snow.
Yeah, I don't think that would go well.
Von Miller's a
those
sturdy man.
Those don't do well in snowstorms and hurricanes.
Von Miller, sturdy man.
All right, so just for perspective, hopped onto Zillow.
Okay,
how many? I would like for you to guess the amount of homes in Buffalo. In the Buffalo area that are for sale right now. Oh, yeah, we're in the suburbs. It's a good map. In the Buffalo area, being sold for over 1.5.
How many right now?
Do you want me to go to a lower number, or is 1.5 fair? You give me a number that feels fair.
1.5 is fair.
Okay, 1.5 is fair.
I would say 12.
2.
Okay. Can you, for comparison's sake, do a similar for Cleveland? I bet it's 20.
Oh, I would think it would be. Yeah, I think it's far more. I can do one for Cleveland in the surrounding areas. Let's get this.
That's wild, though, huh?
This is my theory. I don't know if there's as many as we think. So Cleveland City too. So but let's go proper.
Were you in Buffalo proper?
I was,
obviously.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah. I mean, Cleveland proper is pretty. Lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buffalo proper too. So that's my theory. I don't know that maybe that's why he's under. There's no garage situation.
Yeah, all right.
Or he's got like 4 cars. You know, a lot of these guys they'll have like a Jeep now, like a big Jeep with big tires.
That direction.
And he's got 3 cars in the garage or 4 in the garage, and that's the 5th one that's outside.
It's in the apron area off to the side, so you can get the real nice vehicles.
That's the other part of it. I mean, he's only going to be there for so many months. Like, how many cars does he even need?
It's a great question.
5 months, 6 months.
When you drop it to 1, there's only 5.
Oh.
So I think that's where we're at. I think that's where you're at on that front. Either way, irregardless, we will be playing in Detroit. It's crazy. I'll just say this. This didn't sneak up on anybody. I am borderline stunned that Buffalo's football team remains in Buffalo. I don't know how the hell they're going to get out. Because theoretically, I mean, well, not theoretically, actually, you're going to have to clear a runway, and you're going to have to make sure that I don't understand how that's going to happen.
And that a plane can take off safely.
Correct.
How are they not on a plane last night?
I have no idea.
Why wasn't this thing rescheduled? Fly in Sunday morning, brother.
Why wasn't this thing rescheduled Tuesday?
Can't.
No, it should have been. I'm saying last Tuesday, 3 days ago, we knew this was going to be bad.
Yeah, this didn't sneak up on anybody.
It did not. The predictions did not go down. They went up.
Correct. So, as soon as it starts, okay, this is bad. We're now pretty good with our models. We know it's going to be bad. We know you don't want to move a home game. I get it. But sorry, this should have been done Tuesday.
Yes, that's right.
So now I don't know how they get out. They weren't at practice today.
They didn't even practice.
Canceled. They did Zoom practice, whatever that is. And away they go. So they're meeting by that. They got a sickness there. They're going to travel to Detroit tomorrow. But I don't know. Again, with the way that the weather is, everything that I'm reading, it's supposed to be like this all the way through tomorrow. And then there's a little gap tomorrow afternoon where they're going to have to fly. But again, you're going to have to clear a runway.
Yeah.
You're not going to chopper them.
Not only that.
There's no Harrier jet.
But if that's on Von Miller's car, what's on the roadway between Von Miller's house and the airport?
It's a fantastic question, Gibby.
Von Miller's house and the Bills' practice facility.
How do they get to where they need to get to?
Yeah. It's not exactly going swimmingly for them today either.
No, they got illnesses everywhere. They got all these guys they've already ruled out. I mean, I'm not crying. They've got a lot of things go their way. So it just seems logistically, it seems like a nightmare that could have been avoided.
Yeah, it sure does.
And
then here we are.
They had to cancel practice today.
Yeah.
Again, if you were already in Detroit, you could have practiced at Ford Field probably.
I would think.
And a quarter of their guys couldn't join their virtual meetings because they don't have power.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll take it. We'll take every advantage we can get.
We'll need all of them. We'll take them.
We'll need them all, and we will take them all. That's right.
So the injuries situation. So we had Greg Newsome collided with a teammate in practice.
This happened again.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I can, as I've observed the play in question, nothing was done out of the ordinary. He just ran into somebody. It was like crossing routes, and he was coming from the slot this way, and tight end was coming from the other side. So he and the linebacker had a little meeting, and unfortunately, I don't know what that means. They're evaluating him. That's not good. Not excited about that. So hopefully, he's okay.
Chief is questionable. Coach says he continues to progress, and they'll continue to monitor his status. We know DeAnthony Bell, Michael Dunn, and Perry and Winfrey are all out for this game. Buffalo's list is long and distinguished. Jake Kumaro out. He's on IR. Greg Rousseau out already. The big defensive end, linebacker Tremaine Edwards, he's out. Tre'Davious White out as well.
That's big. I mean, that's a star at all three levels. Now, Tre'Davious White has not played yet this season for them, but this is a guy that was a multiple-time Pro Bowler in 19 and 20. He had tore his ACL last Thanksgiving. He has not played since. Then you look at the other side. Now, what I did not see is Jordan Poyer's name on that list. So I'm guessing is questionable. Jordan Poyer is the first-team All-Pro safety last year. He's very good. Rousseau, 5 sacks in 8 games this year. He was Pro Football Focus's number 12 edge. He's already 5 sacks. That's second on the team. That's a career high for him already. 25 pressures, 7 tackles for a loss, trailing just Von Miller in all 3 of those categories. That's a big loss for them. So now they've got A.J. Epinesa, they've got Boogie Basham, and they've got Shaq Lawson, who will all step up. And you'd say, well, they didn't have Greg Rousseau last week, so how did those guys fare? Well, I'm glad you asked. Boogie Basham, sack. Epinesa, sack. And Shaq Lawson, half a sack. So they still accounted for 2.5 sacks last week alone, even with Rousseau out of the lineup, in addition to Von Miller getting a sack and then our guy Ed Oliver being an absolute game wrecker in that one.
So that's the backdrop of this one.
That is the backdrop.
And we will travel tomorrow to Detroit, right? That'll be our standard road game procedure. And will we bus?
That's right.
We are on a bus.
Yep.
You're on a bus.
Early afternoon, we will depart.
Isn't that something? We still do that? It's just close
enough,
I
suppose. 2 cities.
Detroit and Pittsburgh.
That's it.
Everybody else, we fly them.
I really was hoping for a little flight. How about a little handout on this one?
Yeah.
Because I hate the bus.
You can drive with me, Gibby.
Can't risk it.
Too risky.
No risk it, no biscuit.
Walked right into it. Walked right into it.
I'm getting, just so you know, Gibbe, because I know that there's going to be a little bit of snow only in downtown Cleveland. I actually checked on the route. There will be no snow in the morning, but I will leave with ample time. Got new snow tires on.
It's not like you're going to be dealing with traffic in Detroit getting into the game.
No. And I'm not going to be dealing with traffic in Detroit getting out of the game.
See, that's where I would,
well, you
that's
wait
where
on
I
the
would
bus
try to hitch a
and
ride.
just sit there, and you sit there, and you sit there. If you
Forever.
come with me, I'll drop you off here. It is right on the way. I'll do that for you. That's how much I love you.
I'm debating that.
I would do that. I would definitely.
Oh, my God. We'll go in the car, and I'll be like, Bach, yeah, ing, yeah, bird, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll take the bus.
So great. So great. What's going on with the tickets? Who's going to this game?
I don't think many. I don't know. I don't even know if they're going to allow many. I don't think they can staff the stadium.
They're
that's
running
the
into
other
that
part of it?
problem, too.
We could be dealing with a lower bowl only situation potentially. I don't
Who
even know.
controls the tickets? Do we know? Do we have information on that? Buffalo?
Yeah.
Ish?
This is a Buffalo game.
My credential's still my Buffalo credential. Yeah, it's as if the game was in Buffalo, just there in.
And so, what are they doing? Like, people who have tickets to their home game can go, and that's like, could those people resell?
It sounds like, from what I saw on their website, they've got some special for season ticket holders and maybe their corporate partners. I don't see anything about being on sale to the public. They do not want a Browns.
No, I don't blame them for that. I mean,
they don't want it to be a Browns home game.
I was talking to people. I've been talking to people the last couple of days. Why don't they just move it to Cleveland? I'm like, well, it's their home game. Like, you can't give them a.
Everybody's
No.
Yeah, we don't get a home game out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do think it's weird. I wonder if they'll do like walk up or game day or nothing. Like, you can't.
There doesn't seem to be anything about that right now. I think that Detroit's just trying to staff what they can.
This will be like a COVID game then.
It very well could look
totally,
like.
that's what we were saying last night. Yeah.
Well, we were good in COVID.
Best year,
boy.
Best year we
crushed it.
I mean, we were
some of the biggest moments.
We were an electric factory.
All that's missing is all of you.
That's right.
Maybe run it back.
We'll get Jim. Jim will be back.
Jim will
it's
be back.
Be great.
You get it. You get a little bit of that. It's a shame they can't get. I mean, I would think the players, even Bills players, would probably want fans, wouldn't you? Instead of sterile.
I would think so.
I mean,
so.
It'll be the Bill. So
with
this will be the weird thing. The Bills game presentation will be on, like, the scoreboard will be the Bills. The music when they come out, the PA announcer will be the Bill. Like, it is a Bills presentation.
Sure.
Minus the fans potentially.
Yeah, I got news for you. I don't think that, like, even if you opened them up and we could sell them, like, I'm sorry, I don't think that would be that big of a deal for them. I think they'd be fine. Like,
I mean, if the Bills do the Bills make the money off of the gate, or does Detroit?
Well, I would assume you're gonna have to pay Detroit to operate it.
Correct.
So then after that, everything I would guess would be the Bills, but they probably already have those.
So, but are
they going to reimburse those people who can't go to a game?
Is the operation expenses coming out of the Bills fund, or is that coming out of the league because the league had to relocate the game?
All great questions. If you are a Bills fan who's not in the Buffalo region and you're a Bills season ticket holder or whatever and you bought tickets, or if you're a Browns fan who already holds tickets,
then you have to be able to go.
Then you got to be able to go. They got to honor those tickets, right?
No, it's all refunds.
Oh, they're just giving the money back.
Yep.
Oh, so they want to play in front of nobody. Because I know a lot of Browns fans that were going to this game.
Same.
They were excited about going to this game.
So they're not allowed. If you add tickets, you can't go?
Hold on.
You're telling me I got a ticket to the game and I can't go?
Fans who purchase tickets from the Buffalo Bills ticket office will automatically receive a refund to the method of payment used. Refunds will begin being processed December 2nd. Fans who purchase tickets on Ticketmaster will receive a refund to the credit card used for the purchase, including fees within 7 to 10 days. Like, it does not give you an option to go buy or exchange tickets. Tickets purchased on NFL Ticket Exchange, Ticketmaster. They will receive a refund in 7 to 10 days. Refunded.
Huh.
Like, there doesn't seem to be an exchange.
It's interesting. I don't know. So I guess you're going to play in front of nobody.
Could hear a pin drop. I guess
that's where we're at.
I guess it is.
I don't
Crazy.
know. All of it's a little crazy.
It is. Yeah, I would think that you would want fans there, whether they were home or away, that you would want the noise of fans. I mean, it's just better across the board, whether it's not your fans. By the way, there'd be a lot of Bills fans there if they did day of. There'd be a ton of Bills fans.
Yeah.
They're well represented. They're a big fan base.
They're the mafia.
Yeah, for sure.
Tables in Detroit. Look out.
Do you think? Have you ever put the kid? Have you ever put the kid and S in a room together?
Oh yeah, they know each other well.
What is that like?
Michigan,
How does that go?
Ohio State.
No, I know. That's why I ask. How's that go? Because S is kind of nervy.
They love each other.
Kid is real chesty and
but
loose.
The kid can sometimes think he's nuts, which Scott admits he is, and the kid is like, the kid's a little bit of a throwback,
Yeah.
By the way, imagine being a table in Detroit, thinking you're just gonna have a nice weekend, you're just gonna hang out, not in danger. You're not in danger at all, and now all of a sudden here come these people who just like live to smash tables.
Do you think?
Sad.
Do you think that there's a hardware store in Buffalo that makes like its monthly quota?
Yeah, and they're
for
gonna
profit
miss it
just on selling those tables.
Yeah, I do
too. Yeah.
So I do have a development. Pre-sale tickets for Bills season ticket members will go on sale at 2 p.m. Friday. Bills GM Brandon Beane said tickets will be, quote, way less than normal NFL tickets when they do go on sale.
So they are opening them up then. You can buy them.
At least through season ticket members
through Bills
at 2
season
o'clock
tickets.
today.
Dustin on social. It's on social, so it must be true. He said he had tickets for the game in Buffalo, got an email saying I get refunded and that I'd have to buy tickets at 2 p.m. on Ticketmaster for Sunday's game in Detroit. So I don't know if he's a Bills season ticket holder or if he's just a Browns fan who was going to go to the game, but because he already purchased his tickets.
Dustin?
They might be just extending that
Dustin A.
opportunity if you
How many
bought
Dustins
a
do you
ticket
know?
to.
Oh, I didn't know if you meant Dustin who played for the Bills.
Oh, no, not him. No. And then tickets go on sale at 2 o'clock on Ticketmaster. Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of that. That same Dustin A., by the way, also tweets us, do you guys have any plans tonight? Say 7 p.m. Massillon plays Lake at Byers Field. Come hang out and watch some football with me. The Mighty Hudson Explorers play Hoban tonight in Twinsburg. So that's where my
the battle of
attention
the
will line.
H's.
It's a couple of H's. Yeah, so we got that. Fun night. Regional finals.
Are you going to be in attendance?
I'd like to go for my buddy. Love the coach, love the program. It's cold.
It's going to be 20 degrees.
Yeah,
it is cold.
It's just cold. So, Twinsburg sent out a picture of like the field, and I'm just looking at this thing going, it's like, it's is what it is. Ohio High School Football Stadium. But
sure.
It's like metal bleachers and all this, and I'm thinking,
not ideal.
I don't know. I'm a man. I'm 40. I don't know if I can do that. Might be more buy it on.
If your
the
kid was
OHSAA.
playing,
well, then I gotta go.
Different situation.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So this is the same thing. I mean, we're getting that a lot now, like the season ticket.
So maybe
Bills
if you
season ticket,
purchased
or
a
if you already
ticket for the
bought 'em.
game, they are allowing you also the opportunity to buy tickets at 2 o'clock today. But I have not seen anything official from the Bills.
Season ticket member pre-sale begins at 2.
Correct.
Members will be sent an email at 1 with a link and a code to access the sale. Ticket limit to 6 per account. Bills app pre-sale will begin at 5. So that would lead me to believe non-season ticket holders begins at 5. Fans
is it the app?
App.
So if they're members of the app. Browns fans log on and become a member of the app.
You said it, not me.
There you go.
Fans will be notified via the app with a link and code to access the pre-sale. Limit ticket is 6. If the tickets remain, the general public sale will be on Saturday. So there will be a crowd. So there will be a general public sale on Saturday, and there will be now we don't know what the capacity for that is.
Correct.
I mean, they might set capacity at 30,000.
Right.
And it might just be lower bowl, but that is.
But there's a path to getting to this game.
There's a path to getting to this game if you wanted to go to the game. Good one last night, Titans and Packers. 7-3. 7-3.
All they know is winning.
Okay,
Braves, man.
We wrote them off for dead, and they said no, nay, we're good. But what I love is you talk about a heater. You
Just
talk
continues.
about a heater.
Just continues.
You say, all we said, we don't get it.
I don't get it.
Don't get it. Why are
Understand.
these
Why are
guys
they
the
not
underdogs?
favored?
Why aren't they favored? Well, because we knew they were going to win. Boom. You're
Boom.
welcome. Straight to the bank for you.
Put a kid to college. On us. You're welcome.
I mean, dude, the heater that you're on right now, I mean, just like a rope off the Goodyear blimp.
Really feel good about things.
Why wouldn't you?
I'd like to just shut it down. I got to keep this alive we got to keep this alive for another 9 weeks, 8 weeks.
Well, like just to let the people know what they're dealing with here. I mean, right now, combined 54 games over 500. You have leapt up to 28 over 500 yourself, 26 for me. I mean, the consistency, and I feel like if people were able to piece together your winners when I don't have it and my winners when you don't have it, we might be at 100%.
You got to find. I think you're right. You got to find the hot hand.
Yeah.
Over the course of this. So last week probably heads your direction this way. We'll see this week. Because last week was the first time we were opposite on a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it was you were unnerved by Pedro.
You went 10-4. I mean,
Pedro was in here. Everything was 17-14.
Yep.
Nothing made sense. Up was down. Down was up. I mean, it was unnerving. So I think that he usurped.
How many layers is that? What is that? How many?
1, 2, 3.
8?
3 layers? I mean,
Jeez,
it's unbelievable.
Louise. And there's like the lining on that jacket. Outrageous. I mean,
you think he's wearing this out of something other than just
I don't know.
style?
Half the people in this building
swag?
wear coats and like multi-layers because there's no heat in certain parts of the building.
Not
I
that
guess.
gentleman.
I don't know.
That gentleman's entire repertoire is well curated. I mean, that's unbelievable. Anytime you get a layer, this time of year is his peak. He's going to thrive in the fall out west.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I want you to know that after week 6,
all right,
or go after week 5.
Okay.
After week 5, I was 16 games over 500. You were 6 games over 500. In the last 5 weeks, you have gone 22 games over 500. I've gone 10. You've gone up. You're at 28. So you are on.
How long have we been doing this?
Years. We've never had a losing.
4 years?
This is our 5th year together on the program.
Ours together,
Okay.
but
but we did the scores.
This should be a college student's thesis. They
Wouldn't
should
be
go
a bad
back and
idea.
study if you put X number of things per game.
Yep.
Where you would be right now.
I like that
from a financial state.
Well, you'd be someplace warm.
Yep.
It would be
Because
somewhere
it's
a lot
a
better.
You wouldn't be
ridiculous
here.
amount. It's a ridiculous amount of games
You wouldn't be here.
on the net.
That's
positive.
a good thesis. Good master's thesis.
I don't even think we've ever really been close to 500. Usually we lap it. Usually we're 20 games over,
Yep.
15 over.
I mean, the first couple years.
the first year was
monster.
unbelievable. The first year was unbelievable.
We're on
We're pace for that now.
Right
We're 50 some now, so it's unbelievable. All right, we will get you your matchup: Browns defense, Bills offense. We'll get you some over unders. The man for whom this show, the man's loins birthed the show, the notorious one, will join us at 2. How's he going to get there? Boots on the ground.
I bet he will just sit that one out. Is
I
my
think
guess.
Carucci is like CBS, 1 o'clock. That's what's up.
I think I'll watch it that way. I don't blame him. You got the scores, keys to victory, all the fun of a Football Friday. We're off and running. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Browns. You depend on the Browns to win. You can always depend on OBM. They'll tackle any size office. The number is 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. We didn't get to this yesterday, but we have time to get to it now. It is a little bit of matchup time. Our defense versus a prolific offense. Brought to you by Evolve Technology. Evolve Technology powers best-in-class security for the Cleveland Browns. We could use them on Sunday, buddy.
Yeah, we're going to need a lot of defense. Well, yes, indeed, to lock up Josh Allen, who, as we know this season, 2,733 yards, third in the NFL, 20 passing touchdowns, second, 96.6 rating, seventh, but 10 interceptions, most in the NFL. He also has 476 yards rushing, which leads the team on 7 yards a carry, 4 rushing touchdowns. He's been responsible for 13 giveaways, though, in 9 games, 10 interceptions, 3 fumbles lost, 6 in the last 3 games, 2 picks a game. The Browns need to take advantage of that. But when he is good, he is elite. First 6 games of the year when they went 5-1, 68%, 330 a game, 17 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a 109 rating. Last 3 struggling, 59%, 251 a game, 3 touchdowns, 6 picks, 67 rating. But he loves playing in domes. For his career, I looked it up, 4-0 as a starter, 77% completions, 286 and 2.5 touchdowns per game, a rating of 118. He is effective throwing the ball down the field, 22 completions, 815 yards on vertical passes, most in the NFL. He also has 7 touchdowns of more than 20-plus air yard throws. That's third. They are going to run a straight drop-back game. Similar to Cincinnati, only 24% play action. That's 20th in the percent of motion plays. Miami, by the way, was first in motion, third in play action. Josh Allen with play action, though, is darn good. 71%, 9 yards an attempt, 8 touchdowns, and a 121 rating. Pure drop back, 62%, 7.6 yards per attempt, 12 touchdowns, 8 picks, and an 88 rating. When they throw the football, they throw it to Stephon Diggs. This year, third in the NFL in receiving yards and touchdowns, 72 for 985 and 7. He already has 6 100-yard games this season, tied with Justin Jefferson for most in the NFL. How about the fact that everybody won in that trade? The Vikings trade Stephon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills. He leads the league in receiving in 2020 when he had a franchise record of 1,535 yards. He's on pace to shatter that again this year. The Vikings used the pick that was required for Stephon Diggs in the first round and drafted Justin Jefferson, who is number 2, or I think now he actually leads the NFL in receiving yards, just passing Tyreek Hill. So that's one of those where it just worked out. They're going to get him the football, though. 11 targets a game, second in the league. 8 catches a game, third. Yards per game, 109, third. And he averages 0.8 touchdowns per game. That's fourth. They also have Gabe Davis, 6'2", 225, who is a big play threat, averaging 23 yards a catch, the most among the guys with the 30 most yards in the league. On deep passes, air yards of 20 or more, he already has 6 catches for 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. 52% of his yards, 60% of his touchdowns on those 6 deep receptions. And he was the guy, if you remember, against Kansas City in the playoff game last year, became the first player ever with 4 receiving touchdowns in a playoff game. They don't run it a ton. Bills running backs, 73.1 yards per game, 4th fewest in the NFL, 16 rushes a game, fewest in the league. They're trying to become the first team to reach the Super Bowl with running backs averaging fewer than 19 rushes per game. Last week, Devin Singletary scored twice on the ground. Those were his first 2 rushing touchdowns of the season. He also did lose a fumble, but pretty much shotgun, drop-back passing offense. One thing I should note is that Allen's accounted for 3,209 total yards this year. That's the most in the NFL. If he has 337 total yards against the Browns in the Dome, he will set the NFL record for the most total yards by a player in the first 10 games. Right now, he just trails Peyton Manning in 2013, Luck in 14. Interesting thing, and I'm sure the Browns are very well aware of this, versus zone coverage, he has 7 interceptions this year, most in the NFL, 8 touchdowns, 7 picks, a 94 rating against man, 12 touchdowns, 3 picks, a 101 rating. So those guys create separation. He can deliver the ball to moving targets very effectively. Right now he's having a little trouble deciphering, especially in the red zone where he's thrown 3 interceptions the last 3 weeks. In his first 67 games of his career, Bo, in the red zone, 79 passing touchdowns, 2 picks.
God.
Last 3 weeks, 2 passing touchdowns, 3 picks. So maybe we can get a turnover, get one, and take it away from him. Another thing to note, if we can get out to a lead second half, not to say this will continue, but second half, weeks 8 through 10, the last 3 games, no touchdowns from the Bills offense, which is stunning. 15 drives, no touchdowns, 4 field goals. The first half, though, 16 drives, 8 touchdowns, 2 field goals. They are 1-2 in those games. We got to get pressure on him. We need Myles Garrett to get home. We need somebody else to step up alongside of him, whether that's Clowney or Isaiah Thomas. We need to cover on the back end. That'll be more of a challenge without Greg Newsome. My guess is if Newsome is out, you would have Denzel Ward and you would have MJ Emerson outside. A.J. Green would come in as kind of a big slot if you needed to go to the nickel, which you will quite a bit against this Bills team. Good offensive line. They've got 2 Pro Bowlers, Deion Dawkins and Roger Saffold from last season. Although
good Cleveland guy, Saffold.
Saffold, yep. He is struggling, though, this year. They got a very good center in Mitch Morse. They have got a first-year starter at right guard in Ryan Bates. He has struggled this season. And then their right tackle, Spencer Brown, has not been good either. 75th ranked tackle out of 84 Pro Football Focus. So left side of the line is good, even though Saffold not playing up to his level. Right side of the line, not good. And that's where the Browns are going to have to go ahead and try to get something done. You can't ever count out Dawson Knox. He had 9 touchdowns a year ago. Only 2 touchdowns so far this season, though, 24-240, although he is coming off of a season high last week of 4 catches for 57 yards against the Vikings.
What do you make of Allen's? I mean, I'm just looking at his game log here. So they lose they shouldn't have lost. He was actually pretty good. He had the 2 picks, which the one was brutal. They really should never have lost last week. They had the game won. He was pretty good. 67%.
They did a quarterback sneak.
That's it. But against the Jets, 52% completion percentage. Against the Packers, 52% completion percentage. Those weren't climate games, were they? Where he's completing he threw 2 picks in both of those games against those 2 secondaries. He was great.
No, the Jets game was the one where he rolled out in the red zone and literally
threw it right to
the guy that was standing in front of him, which was bizarre.
He was great against the Chiefs, 27 of 40, 329, 3 touchdowns, sensational. And then against Pittsburgh, he threw for 424, but it was 64%. Not too bad. I mean, it was good. He was pretty great. But, like, those 2 games are strange in there. The game against the Jets, the game against the Packers, with the struggle. He's thrown 10 picks.
Yeah.
20 touchdowns, 10 picks. Like, I don't know that he's so good fantasy that I don't know that people realize he's thrown 6 picks the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. He's 10 picks, lead the league. 4 games with 2 interceptions this year, leads the league. He gives you opportunities because he has so much belief in his arm and his arm talent, so he will throw into some tight windows. And he hasn't been seeing it as well as he normally has the last few weeks. So we got to take advantage of it. But again, we have 3 interceptions on the season. That's just it's not what we've done.
We're not doing it.
No, we're not doing it. We had 1 against Carolina. We had 1 against Atlanta. Denzel got it. And we had 1 in the game against Cincinnati off of a tip ball. Other than that, Bubkiss. We're just not Purdue. And they have 4 guys with 2 or more interceptions. Jordan Poyer's played 5 games. He has 1 more interception than our whole team.
Are you surprised they didn't do more to get a running back in that offense?
They try. I mean, Singletary was a 3rd-round pick.
No, but I mean, even at the deadline. Like, I know that they
like
around Kareem, and
they like James Cook, Dalvin's brother, who they drafted in the 2nd round this year, and I think they think ultimately he will be that guy. The thing about it is it's not like they just don't run it a lot. Singletary's averaging this season, 4.5 yards a carry. It is a career low for him, but James Cook, 4.4 yards or 5.1 yards a carry this season. They got Nyheim Hines who can catch the ball. They don't run it much. And that's what I'm saying. They're last in the league in running back rushes.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's wild. I don't know that many people would be aware of how the makeup of how they go about their business unless you're watching them every week. A lot of us will watch them when they play the big games. They're on Sunday night or they against the Chiefs, whatever. But if 20 touchdowns, 10 picks, he's their leading rusher. They don't really try with anybody else. Like it's a really, and yet most people, and I think correctly, would say that they are a team of great consequence. Speaking of, fantastic quarter zip you're wearing. And we want to give thanks here to this operation because you look fantastic in this thing.
Yeah, thank you. Our good friend David Bass from the New York State Troopers.
Gorgeous.
Hooking it up for all the boys. So thank you to Mr. Bass, who just had he's got a son now 7 months old. So congratulations to him.
Congratulations.
On that. The beautiful family, the big fella. So stay dry, stay safe out there, stay out of the snow. And sad we won't get to see him, but he's at comes to a ton of Browns games, pretty much all of them. Awesome dude.
It is a great quarter sip.
It is great.
It feels good.
It feels good.
Yeah, it looks good. Feels good. I like it. Like a lot about it. All right. When you are on the injured list.
A lot of envy in your neighborhood, I've heard already over this quarter zip.
Very specific envy.
Very.
Very specific. When you're on the injured list, get a little help back in the game. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk & Elk's a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. A little over-unders coming your way next. Someone's on a heck of a heater.
Don't touch me. You might burn your finger.
Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. I had 2 basketball practices last night that I coached, and when I got home around 9-ish, I flipped on and was watching the NFL game, and then I hopped on my phone, and it was, well, say goodbye to Twitter. It's over in an hour.
Yeah, there was a ton of that. People were like, "This was my best tweet ever."
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
I have no idea. So
I was flummoxed.
I've done some reconnaissance.
Okay.
And apparently, Elon Musk made an offer to all the Twitter people, be committed to this new Twitter, or else you can have 3-month severance. And apparently, a bunch of them called him on it.
Quit.
That's right. Walked, and then the cards they couldn't get into the building, so there's nobody there. So people thought it wouldn't be there in the morning, and then they're communicating this via Twitter.
Yeah, wild. People were putting up their screenshots of their favorite tweets. Simmons was his first tweet. Simmons put up his first tweet in case it was all gone, and I was like, people were tweeting out, "Once this is gone, follow. Here's my Instagram. Here's my this." Everybody on my timeline. I'm like, what? I'll be honest with you. If Twitter goes away, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know if I would do anything else.
I don't think I would either. I would probably do a little Instagram and Facebook for family.
Insta's for my family, and I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah. So I do those 2 things for the family, but I don't know that I would do. I think it would be one of those things where for our job, it's vital.
Yes.
Because it is a living, running news feed. In the old days, in the news business, long before Twitter, there was the AP wire.
Right.
And things would click.
They'd come across the wire.
And you could, this game went final, this went final. It wasn't opinion. It was just news that would hit. And Twitter replaced that for me. So doing a show without a live timeline of what's going on in the world, you'd almost have to, to do the same type of show, you'd almost have just a Stevie just constantly refresh ESPN.
Yeah, telling you what's going on.
Every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Did anything happen? Did anything happen? Did anything happen?
Because Instagram's not even
It's not even built
like
that way.
It's not built that way. I don't think Twitter's going anywhere.
No, I don't either. I think it's fine. I mean, I woke up this morning, it was all fine.
And there it was.
Yeah.
Same as it was the day before.
Yeah. I kind of looked at it, watched the last 35. I got bored in the game. Once it was 2 scores and Rodgers went out, then I'm good. So I popped right into White Lotus, last 30 minutes of that, and the way that's how
it was a good episode. I enjoyed the episode.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
There's no losers. You're cruising around Sicily.
So you hadn't finished the last episode when we had talked?
I had seen it in and out. I didn't see it straight through. So I had missed it, and then it popped and it was on. So I watched the last half hour.
Which is a good 30.
Elite 30. Probably the best 30. I could do without all of the Tanya stuff.
I've handled it right. I agree. I'm with you on Tanya. I don't care that this guy's...
Makes no difference to me.
So what?
Don't care.
She's awful. Why would I care or feel bad for her? I'm not going to.
None. 0. Yeah.
She dashed the lady's dreams in the last one of her spa or whatever that lady's...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got no time.
Brutal.
She's mean to this assistant girl.
Yeah.
But I do. I feel like yesterday you and I had a good role-playing session, I guess it would be. We were a scene creation, basically. We were acting brilliant.
Yes.
I think I handled the situation very well for that guy. I don't think he's equipped to handle situations
He's
well as
not.
I did.
He's not as – no, he does not have – and look at the big brain on Brett. He does have that, but he doesn't have the street smarts that come with it. It's rare that you have – it's rare to find, and this is one of your great gifts, an incredible intellect, and then also an equally good street smarts. So that's what allows for
you grow up
the levels.
In the mean streets of Pedro.
The yoke.
Yeah, the yoke. You gotta figure things out in a hurry. Yeah, man.
Get things sorted out in a hurry.
Yeah.
In fact, I found that your only weakness is leading witnesses. And that's just, I think, your own enthusiasm for the job gets out of control.
That's
your only weakness.
I would argue that when I don't have you complaining about it or pointing it out, it's really effective. I found it to be incredibly.
I usurp your leading.
Just stay out of it.
No one else.
Yeah, relax.
No one else picks up on it.
Yeah, just stay out of it. Yeah, mind your business.
No one else is it's an interesting tone.
No, they're what you're saying makes a lot of sense. They come to the same conclusion that I had wanted them to come to. It's great.
I'm like your attorney ombudsman.
Yeah, shh, got it.
Stay out of it.
Stay out of it.
Wait till the end.
Yeah, right.
Wait till the end.
Let them respond, and then you. Right. And if you need to say something, then you
do it at the end. Yeah. That's how it goes.
Yeah,
all right, let's do a little over under, boys.
Because, ooh, baby, I'm feeling frisky.
You are killing it. Your last few, because it was a slow start. You've gone. So this is the last
13-2 the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, you got it. Yep. 5-0, 4-1, 4-1. Hoff last 3 weeks 2-3, 4-1, 3-2. Gibbe 2-3, 1-4, 4-1 though last week. So
Gibbe.
Oh, look now, baby. Here I come.
And what was the Hoff this week?
So Hoff was 3-2. So Hoff has
I beat the Hoff once. I'm done.
Yeah, you're
for
out.
the rest
That's
of the
it.
year. Thanks.
You have a 1-game lead. The Hoff has a 1-game lead.
27, 26, 20. Yep.
And then Gibbe is 7 back of Hoff, 6 back of the great Z.
I'm coming.
I got it. These
your
have
best
got,
week. You gained no ground on me.
the last few have been. These have been tricky. So we'll see where
I
we
haven't
go
found
here.
them to be tricky.
No, for you they've been very easy. I for the line maker they've been tricky. Trying to find a line that makes sense. This team's unpredictable, my friend. So it's tough to get a little rhythm.
Unpredictable.
They are, yeah. All right, so let's start where we always do. Total touches for the backs. This at the beginning of the year was way up there every week. It was way up there. Last couple it has been down. We've adjusted for that appropriately. Total touches, Chubb and Hunt versus Buffalo. We start with Dr. Z and 29 and a half.
Over. All day over. Through the first 6 games of the year.
Yeah.
Running backs. The most touches any running back duo had in the first 6 games of the year. You had 1. You had 31 from the Ravens. They were also the most productive. They ran for a grand total of 89 yards, 4 yards a carry. Both of those were the high water marks through the first 6 weeks of the season. Last 3 games, Packers running backs, 35 touches, 220 total yards. Jets running backs, 30 touches, 155 total yards and 2 touchdowns. Last week, Vikings running backs, only 22 touches, but 168 total yards, 2 touchdowns. That's how you attack him. Tremaine Edmonds, sorry, not going to see you. The guy's a monster, 4 straight 100-tackle seasons. He is Pro Football Focus's number 2 linebacker this season, leads their team in tackles with 65, 2-time Pro Bowler. He's out. Run the ball. Give up.
Run the damn ball. That being said, I'll take the under.
Wow. It's in the 20s, dude.
We have to chase. What if you got to chase?
In the 20s.
Got to get a good start.
We're not
Next.
under. I don't like it. If Gibbe says this, I don't even know what my head's spinning. I'm all rattled
All right.
again.
Pay attention on this one. First half total points scored, over or under. Second half total points scored.
I'm going first.
Yep.
First half is under.
Under. Segura.
Well, based on the stat that I just gave you, they have no touchdowns in the second half. They have 8 in the first half of the last 3 games, they being the Bills. First half. We're good out of the gates. Yeah.
Over. Next.
Gonna make up some ground.
I don't know. These are weird ones. These are
under.
We got wonky. We're getting wonky. Total receiving yardage, Zagura. Amari and DPJ, over or under. Diggs and Knox. Not Davis.
all right. We're in the 20-yard range for Knox. We're 109. So that's averages. If we did the averages, it would be 129 for those two combined. If we did the averages for Amari and Donovan.
We don't have time for all this.
Come
These
on, people. This is
calculators.
interesting. This is interesting stuff right now.
Donovan's been unbelievable like the last
Well,
4.
Donovan's given you, no, in fact, he's given you 50-plus in 5 straight, 70-plus in 4 straight, and 5 of the last 6.
Yep.
He's been remarkably consistent. But 585 divided by 9 real quick. That's 65. So Donovan's just below that. So it's actually, they're right on.
They're right on.
They're right on.
That's right.
I got to hedge a little bit here.
All right. Because you've gone heavy run and you've gone.
I've gone heavy on the touches for the backs. God, I love my Browns. Amari and Donovan.
Oh, my God. Give it.
We've been good at taking away the primary weapon. It hasn't necessarily led to success.
And that's where I was going, and I will go Amari and DPJ as well. If you go back and look at what they did to Tyreek Hill last week and Jalen Waddle for the most part.
Well, they were getting 6 yards before we touched them running, so there was that.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Over or under?
Gibby's favorite, sacks, interceptions, and fumbles. The number this week, gentlemen, is 3.5.
Over.
Quick over for Gibby. 3.5. Dr. Z.
I think there'll be some opportunities there.
You know, I'm with you, Gibby. I'm with you here. I think over as well. Josh Allen has turned it over a little bit. He will hold the ball in his attempt to make plays. He can be elusive, but I do think we have an opportunity to get him on the ground 3 times in this game. I think that's what it would call
he's
for.
thrown 6 picks the last 3.
I know, but I feel we have 3 picks on the season. I don't know. We can rely on that forever. So he's been sacked, just in case people are curious about this. I don't know if they are or not. Last 3 games, 9 times.
Over. Next.
Over or under?
All right,
I'm just gonna go ahead and put my over in on this one right now.
Let's do a quick guess the lines here. What do you guys think? Not what the previous over under was. How much was it adjusted for this game being outdoor versus indoor?
I believe I've already been told 7.
I was going to say
Full touchdown.
6.
No, not quite a whole. It was
43 and a half.
Oh, so you know it. Yeah, you know it. So it was 42. It was 42 yesterday. The over-under was down to 42 yesterday before the switch. Right now it's 47 and a half.
Oh, so only 5 and a half. Okay.
So 5.5 points is where it is. The actual over-under. Dr. Z.
Over.
Give it.
Over.
All right. There you go.
We're 6-3, by the way, against the overs to the overs. They're 2-7 to the unders. Are the Bills?
How about that?
What's the number?
47 and a half.
They've only gone over that twice all season. Week 2, 41-7 against Tennessee, and then last week, 30-33 with Minnesota.
Yeah, because Chiefs was 24-20, wasn't it?
17-20 Giants, 27-17 Green Bay, 24-20 Chiefs, 38-3 Steelers, 23-20 Ravens, 19-21 Dolphins, 31-10 Rams.
You going to change your mind?
No.
Go ahead. I'll make up another game on you.
The Notorious. Coming up next.
I celebrated that he did well.
I know. Doesn't care.
No.
You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Oh, we know what that means. The Godfather of Cleveland Browns Daily. The man for whom loins birthed this show.
Right from his loins.
Right from his loins. The great, the legendary Vic Carucci.
Notorious VIC.
How you doing, buddy?
Hi, guys. Great. I'm glad to be with you. Glad to hear your voice again.
We are glad to have you. First of all, give us an
lay
update.
of the land.
Yeah, how are you doing? Are you under snow? What's going on?
Well, I'm currently talking with you from an igloo. Built it myself.
Lovely.
And I got a little fire. Oh, that fire is a little close now. Hey, guys, here's the deal with Western New York in all seriousness, and just everybody, if they're not an actual meteorologist with a degree, they are, like me and so many other residents of this area, amateur meteorologists. And what we learned from watching the real ones is this thing called oscillation off of Lake Erie. And what the winds do to this area, it's a kind of a particular thing. I know Cleveland gets its share of weather too, but the way Buffalo on this end of Lake Erie, the winds that go across from west to east, and if the lake is a certain temperature, a warmer temperature, and it was like in the mid-50s, because just we've had this crazy, wonderful, warmer, extended summer/fall. So the cold air rushing through brings this intense moisture, which takes the form of snow. But when the winds push south of where I am, south of the city, they get buried. Orchard Park, south of the city, buried. That stadium buried with snow right now, and more is coming in that direction. I don't know when we're going to get ours. It took me 10 minutes to shovel my driveway, about 3 inches of snow. I'm looking at dark pavement on the road. So we're cool over here. Supposedly, the winds are going to shift at midnight and bring it further north. But the bottom line, why this game is in Detroit, is that they couldn't have gotten everything cleaned out in a safe way from a fan standpoint, just getting people and have room to sit as opposed to snow drifts in the seats. And they played the Colts. You guys remember probably seeing the video of that, where fans were ultimately doing their own seat cleaning. And it was, this is cruel to say, but it was hysterical to watch from the warm confines of a 72-degree press box and look out the glass and see these folks trying to get their seats brushed off. And and then of course the officials and everybody trying to find the lines on the field, trying to find, the yard lines. That was another challenge. But this is bigger than that, because you've got feet of snow covering everywhere around the stadium. And then it was about timing. With more to come, there was no real practical way that they could see themselves getting that stadium sufficiently ready for a game and for fans. So they made the call yesterday to be in Detroit.
All right, I got a two-parter for you. Number one, should this decision have been made sooner? Which gets to number two, are we sure that the Bills are going to be able to get out Saturday?
Yeah, those questions are coming up at this end too, and I think the answer to the first one is, I'll say that I don't know, because if I were to say yes, darn it, it was so irresponsible. Why did they? Because it affects so many. I mean, decisions like driving bans. There was a driving ban in our area of Western Europe, the northern portion of this county, where we hardly got anything. Schools are closed. So parents, working parents, and there's a lot of them, are home are trying to manage childcare today. That's a thing, right? And my own. Fortunately, my wife's available, but my own daughters and their kids, same thing. They got a snow day today that wasn't anticipated. Originally, they were saying, only in the city of Buffalo and then the southern areas, but then they just made all the school districts, which make their own decisions, decided last night, early evening to make that call. So I reference that because about the timing of when to call this. Yeah, we've known since last weekend/Monday that this was all coming and likely to come, but these forecasts of the oscillation and moisture on off the lake and all that good stuff have been wrong before, and the government leaders decided, so 8 years ago when they had this Snowvember event where many cars were stuck on Route 90 and some people died in those cars because of carbon monoxide. Their cars were just running, or they had health issues and shouldn't have been hours long sitting in a vehicle in freezing, very, snow temperature, all that. They decided, the political leaders just said, you know what? If we're going to get criticized, let's get criticized for overreacting rather than underreacting. Now, to your second question about how to get there or getting there, today was all practice was canceled.
Yep.
Today. So the theory there is keeping guys in their homes so that they perhaps could get to, and this might be more difficult, I don't know, if they were centrally located at the stadium, perhaps some kind of bus following a plow could get them to the airport, which right now isn't too bad. And then there's another airport alternative in Niagara Falls, which they've used before when they couldn't land in Buffalo or take off in Buffalo. So as it stands right now, they are intending to leave tomorrow afternoon, their flight. Obviously, it's a short one, but we'll see how that works out. I can't tell you for sure that I'm absolutely positive that the Browns are going to have an opponent, Sunday right now.
Right.
Yeah, which is an issue. What's kind of been the reaction in Buffalo of the team? Obviously, a home game becomes a road trip, but it goes indoors where Josh Allen is excellent. What's kind of been their reaction to the change in venue?
Yeah, that's been interesting too. I think there is probably more confidence coming from the fact that it is an indoor game and that Josh has had some of his more shining moments there as a pass-oriented team would. So the thinking is that, okay, this will be beneficial for him, for them as an offense. But he's also a quarterback that is going through a slump, who's got to get out of, even when he's been making plays, he's also been hurting himself with the mistakes. Yep. That story. And he's got to pull himself out of that regardless of where the game is played, under what conditions it's played. The fan reaction on that is some nervousness because he hasn't played the way they expect. And the team, with 3 losses at this stage, that had the Super Bowl bound trip that, some people I think were delusional were saying they're going to be undefeated on their way. I mean, I think they're every bit a team that can contend and compete as one of the best, if not the best in the AFC. I don't think that's changed a bit.
No.
But it's still about disruption, guys. They had a partial practice Wednesday because of illnesses that broke out in the team, non-COVID, according to Coach McDermott and other team officials. And then you had a practice yesterday, and then today no practice. So I don't know if that means anything. Limited preparation for any game, let alone this one. And then the other part of it is this will effectively now be 3 games in a row. They were already facing the challenge. Had this game been played under normal home game circumstance, 1:00 kickoff Sunday in Orchard Park, you still had the quick turnaround to going back to Detroit now for that Thanksgiving game. And they're planning, from what Brandon Beane, the GM, said last night, to set up in the visitors' locker room because they want to keep everything the same for Thursday.
Yeah.
So set up there, assuming they get there, and go back home right after the game, short trip, do whatever they need to do in Western New York, and then turn around on Wednesday and head back to Detroit.
It is daunting, I'd say, from the Bills' perspective. They're happy that this is happening against the Browns and the Lions, I would think, rather than, games of tougher games on the schedule. You mentioned Josh Allen and some of, the struggles there. Yeah, he's turning it over. He still is electric, still dynamic. Diggs is excellent. Davis, a home run threat. But I want to turn around to the defensive side of the ball because in my studies getting ready for this one, VIC, I saw early in the season an elite run defense. For a team that plays all nickel, they were great against the run. Last 3 weeks, they have not been great against the run, and they won't have Tremaine Edmonds now. What kind of, in your opinion, has been the change? And if you're the Browns, obviously, does this feel like a heavy Nick Chubb game for you?
Oh, I think it better be a heavy Nick Chubb game, a rushing game, power game. The Jets did that so effectively. Another team that, even though, I know they have the better record, and you've seen them up close and have a lot of talented people, but still, they're not a team that's going to beat you through the air. But what the Jets did to the Bills, and I would expect a similar approach by the Browns, take the air out of the ball, control tempo, and then maybe increase, or I should say decrease the margin for error, which you've seen the Bills, commit repeatedly here. I mean, there's just been a lot of goofy mistakes. This is the story of this team. They're 6-3, and they should easily have 7 and maybe even 8 wins if they don't find a way to screw up. They found a way to lose to the Dolphins. They were again, taking nothing away from Miami, and everybody was talking about, it was so oppressively hot. That's what really got the Bills. No, what got the Bills were 4 or 5 critical errors, including a drop pick six, a drop touchdown, and a ball that Josh Allen skipped to Isaiah McKenzie in the end zone for what would have likely been the winning points. They found ways to mess that up. They found ways, obviously, incredible ways that seemed to be right out of the movie, all the right moves, the fumble at the goal line, the Tom Cruise movie I'm referencing.
Of course.
The Bills did that. Think about that. They had the game. All you got to do is get the snap and lean forward, and game over. So they couldn't do that against the Vikings, right? So now it's, to me, for the Browns, control the tempo, control the clock, and be what you are. Stay true to your personality, and then make, obviously, Jacoby Brissett, make some plays. You might not have to make a lot of them, but you fall into an early hole. If Josh and this offense is humming right along early on, and they're getting, they're running out to a quick couple touchdown lead, I would say it could be lights out.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you look at the offense for the Bills. You mentioned kind of shooting themselves in the foot. Number 1 total offense, number 2 in scoring, number 2 in passing, first on third downs, first on yards per play, 5th in big plays, and then dead last in giveaways. They've turned the ball over a lot. That's what the Browns need to do. But they take it away a lot as well. 3rd in takeaways. They have got 13 interceptions, tied for the most in the league. And our guy from back in your time here, Jordan Poyer, 4 picks in only 5 games. He was first team All-Pro last year. He's an absolute stud. Is he back this week? And if so, I think that's a pretty big deal for the Bills and for the Browns.
It would be. He's got an elbow issue, as you've seen on the injury report, and it will be interesting to see as we speak, gentlemen. I've got the injury report, so I will see what I've got here for Jordan Poyer. He is listed as questionable.
Yep.
The good news is that he had a full non-practice today. They got Friday practice listed as a full. He was a full participant. He wasn't there. Nobody was there. It was a Zoom. They had a Zoom. The practice was on Zoom. So maybe he was in his house and going back and forth with the camera. He's looking good, Jordan. You know what? No, I have no idea how they could be listing, but he's listed as questionable as a full participant today. And Josh Allen was limited through the 2 days of practice Wednesday. They don't have him as a game status, so I was assuming that's the case. They do have Tremaine Edmonds out.
Yep.
Kaiir Elam at corner, and these 2 are. He's questionable, and Reggie Gilliam, who could do some things as a tight end. They like him as kind of an H-back. He's questionable as well. So they had to go back and get A.J. Klein, who was, after he was let go by the Ravens, picked him up again for a second stint with Buffalo. But A.J. Klein he gets by on smarts. You know his game, smarts, anticipation. Tremaine Edmonds, while a highly instinctive player, is, of course, a phenomenal athlete, and they'll miss that ability as a chaser, as a sideline-to-sideline pursuer guy.
Well, there you go. Hopefully we have this game. I mean, it feels like there could be.
We're going to have this game.
I don't know. There's some real concern out in Western New York with this type of snow that's coming. Vic, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much. Go ahead. You think we're safe here?
Okay.
No. You think we're safe?
I think I'm going to say you're going to have a game. I'm going to say Nathan won't be up there and trying to make the call, analyze like the Browns playing against air. And then pretend like, look at. I think you'll be able to call an actual game with both guys. And by the way, Nathan, I've listened. I've had an opportunity to hear you. with Jimmy Donovan, and phenomenal work. Really happy for you in that
Thanks.
role. I haven't had I know I texted you about it, but it's nice to. And,
Yes.
and I thought I'd be able to see you, but I won't be there Sunday. So
okay.
I'm giving you an air high five
right.
from here. And
I'm giving you a hug, brother.
We'll
That's
talk
right. Yes, well, thank you.
I'll see you soon.
All right. The great, notorious VIC Vic Carucci. Amazing.
So great.
It's awesome.
Legend. Absolutely. Nothing quite like tailgating touchdowns and Twisted Tea. Tastes just like real iced tea. You know why? Because it's made with real brewed tea. Cool, refreshing, and a kick of 5% alcohol. It's Thirst Down and Gold Twisted Tea, hard iced tea. Keep it twisted. This will be interesting, them getting out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was
This is
kinda
not
kid,
a gimme.
No, there's a lot of reporting going on out there that how you clearing a runway? Can they get to the airport? All of that.
What's extremely interesting, and Andy Roth was telling us last night at the remote. Andy Roth over at
he was
flagship
he was in
92.
Buffalo, right?
Yeah, he was one of the PDs in Buffalo before coming here. He literally showed me where he lived. It's probably from Willoughby to downtown, and that's the difference, like to the stadium from where he used to live. He currently last night had 5 inches of snow. They had 1.5 feet.
Yeah.
Like, it's that close. It's that fine a line, these bands that are coming off.
Wild.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. Rumpke Waste Recycling, family owned and operated. Whether you join them as a customer's employee, you'll become part of the family. Visit rumpke.com to learn more. Your keys to victory coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Skip the chore of laundry. Enjoy life, not laundry. Tide Cleaners offering 30% off dry cleaning for the month of November. Just mention the promo code Browns. Visit TideCleaners.com to find the location nearest to you. Some exclusions may apply. Your game day forecast brought to you by Carrier, partner of the Cleveland Browns. Detroit is where it will be. Partly sunny, temperatures in the mid to high 20s by kickoff, but it's indoors, so 70-ish. No light, can't hear you.
72, 73.
What do you think you do on a dome?
I had my hand raised. Jordan Poyer, full participant in practice today. He's questionable.
And estimated. He's playing.
He's playing. What temperature would you keep a dome at?
70.
I might.
68.
Yeah.
What do you keep your car at?
70.
68.
But if it's only half
70.
empty,
It's
if the stadium's half empty, does that change
Savannah.
the temperature of the building?
I
Do you have
no
to
idea.
like boost the temperature?
I don't know. I mean,
You're
I think
counting on degrees from body heat?
You're always. My thing
Yes,
is like
actually.
I would actually keep it cooler in the winter because they're going to be bundled up, so you don't want them coming in there and sweating and having to take all their stuff off. So I would go cooler in the winter, and then maybe up.
I think
in the early
60,
season.
if you're 68 to 72, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's the range.
I think it's untenable. If I walked into a house and the temperature was set at 72, I would say that's untenable.
It's outrageous.
It's a ridiculous play.
I'm always in the 60s.
Yeah.
I fight with.
I think I'm 70 year round. Just stays there.
I like 60.
But
I'm
my
68.
my room's different. That's different.
My room's gotta be cold.
Yeah, that's how.
I like
separate
I-
operation.
I get because the heat is so effective in these homes, or at least in our house, it's like so effective. I don't want to come on unless it hits 66, and then I'll go and Miss K will somehow some fairy will have moved it up to like 68,
Yeah.
69, and I'm like right back on to 66.
We're gonna go right down here.
down there. Yeah.
Let's keep it right here.
Yeah.
That's where it needs to be.
The good news is that the way our house, like our bedroom was an addition. Like they
Yeah.
added that on, I think later. It's for the first floor master, but it's out on the side, and so it's got its own heating and cooling, but it is not nearly as potent as the rest.
The
so
main.
the bedroom is always an igloo.
That's how you
Love
want it.
Of course.
Come on.
Are you kidding me?
No one
It's
can leave
the
this.
best.
The heat is oppressive. No one
You
needs
can't
it.
sleep in the heat.
You can't do it.
It's impossible.
All right, what do you got for keys?
Well, I think it's imperative that we get out to a fast start. And that doesn't mean score on the opening drive. It means
I'll
be a
take it.
team of consequence in the first half and go into halftime into a competitive game. And I think that means ideally with the lead. Look, if there is one thing that you could say about Josh Allen that is stupefying, it's that he's 2-9 in one-score games since 2021, second worst in the NFL
That's
over
crazy.
that period of time behind only Justin Fields. We've got to be competitive with them. That allows us to run the football. It allows us to not be one-dimensional. I think that is so important. Number one. Two, we got to win the turnover battle. I'm done saying we got to not turn the ball over. We do it every single game. We do. By the way, we've only not turned it over twice. We won both of those games. So maybe let's do it more, but saying it and asking for it hasn't made it happen. They'll give it away to us too. So we need to actually take the football away from them. I mean, it just feels like we don't get turnovers.
We don't. I mean, there was a stretch the last couple of years, and this isn't – it's just off the top of my head, but it feels like, where Miles had a stretch of like 3 games where he'd have a sack, strip, fumble, and we would have picks.
That was 2020. We had 17 –
all that stuff's got to go your way, and we're not getting any of that.
We had 17 takeaways in the first 8 games.
Yeah, we're getting
something
none of
insane. We're getting none of that. We need that in this one. We need to take the football away from them, and so I think that is critically important. So that would be key number 2, and then key number 3 is, run the football, run the football, run the football, run the football, and run the football right at them. No big plays over the head. Don't let Gabe Davis do that, but run the football, take care of the football, and if you're not going to take care of it completely, at least win the turnover battle and get after this football team. Come on, come on, come on. Josh Allen, 0-1 against the Browns in his career. Lost 19-16. Oh, that was a one-score game back in 2019, second year in the league.
There you go. Scores next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet on 850 ESPN Cleveland. My friends, in about a day, the Bath Authority can give you the bathroom of your dreams. You could transform your current bathroom and your wet space into a custom bath experience. It'll make it feel like a spa. Let the Bath Authority make it a reality for you at a fraction of the cost of the competitors. The Bath Authority is Cleveland's premier bath and shower remodeler, expert and factory-trained installers. You give them a call now, you get $500 off your next custom bath or shower remodel. That number is 216-220-8399 or go to thebathauthority.com. It's where affordability meets quality. Enormous selection of bath projects, all made in the United States. Change your bathroom from outdated to outstanding. Acrylic tubs that insulate and keep the heat in. Tub to shower conversions as well. Superior products with expert installers at the Bath Authority. 216-220-8399. And now, time for a little scores. Hello, Gibby.
Gentlemen, Zagura.
Yes, Gibby?
Standings from last week.
Ah, yes. Bo Bishop, 10-4 last week, folks. 6 games over 500, 7-7 for me, right at 500. So Bo, 28 over for the season, 26 for me, combined 54 games over 500.
Huge.
Well, congratulations on going 500 last week, Z.
Jeez.
Well, when you're living,
I mean, maybe
When
that
you're living
woke you
20s
up, and maybe yesterday's guess the spread woke you up, and
when you're living 26 games over 500, 500 is just fine. I'm living the good life,
Flopping
brother.
around.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it'll lead to bigger things. Maybe it'll lead to 500 again.
Good God.
Such disdain.
It's amazing.
I know.
You're
That's
giving him a ride home.
Yeah. Let that hate. I not anymore.
Well, no, it was
That
over
would
when
be
you
an
started
amazing-
doing whatever rah-rah sis boom ba thing you had going
That was
on.
from Dumb and Dumber.
It would be amazing if Gibbe, as your one retribution for all of his yoke that is on you, if as it came
So
time to leave
unprovoked.
Detroit,
It hurts Nana.
you just got in and drove.
I went like this.
See you later.
See
All
ya.
right, I don't have any room to spare. I've got no room.
It would never
I'd give you a
happen.
ride, but you need to change your attitude.
I feel
Eh.
like you got to do that. You got to. You're not riding that bus.
Yeah,
That'd be
Ugh.
outrageous. Get home at midnight.
The bus ride there is fine. I can deal with it.
No.
The bus ride home,
This will save you over an hour.
at
you come-
least.
At least, right? I
At
can't
least.
see how it wouldn't, because you're going to drive at a normal rate of speed for starters.
And
there's no
I'm
way they're
not
going
waiting-
as fast.
I'm not
and you're
waiting an hour and a
for
half.
an entire football
Like
team.
I'll hit my video, you'll get cleaned up, and we'll be out of there. We could be out of there 20 minutes after a kick.
I'm going to tell
after
you
the
right
final
now.
whistle.
It would save you far more than an hour.
At 2 minimum.
2 minimum.
Yeah. So do you want that life, Gibbe?
I got you. It's appealing. Don't get me wrong. We'll see how it goes here. Every plan that I've had this week has currently gone down the toilet.
all gone to
so
hell.
The wife's like, "What do you want to do tonight?" I go, "Well, let's get through the next couple hours.
if we
Let
can
me
get
make
there."
sure that there's nothing else coming my way in terms of a roadblock." All right, let's get to it. Week 11 in the National Football League. We start off with the AFC North and the Baltimore Ravens 6-3, welcoming Baker Mayfield and the 3-7 Carolina Panthers to town. Nathan Zagura, kick us off.
It's just such a huge number.
Enormous.
I have no belief in the Carolina Panthers
None.
at all. But that
Zip.
is an enormous number.
So big.
Feels like too big. Baltimore 14. Carolina 2.
Bishop.
One thing, I mean, this number is just ridiculous. It's the last 6-7 weeks, and this happens every week. In that stretch, the biggest number, oftentimes, not only doesn't cover,
They've lost quite a bit.
We had this last week. We've had a stretch of this now. The number is just enormous, and so safe.
Next, I would almost say, I don't want to call it a must-win for the Atlanta Falcons, but this is a big one because Tampa's on the bye, a chance to gain half a game and really move into basically a tie for first place in the NFC South. The Falcons hosting, I'm going to call them the upstart Bears. You know, Justin Fields is playing well. The Bears, tough. Bishop.
Yeah, look, they can score a lot of points. Here's your point totals the last 3 weeks for the Bears. 29, 32, and 30 unfortunately for them, all of those were L's. One other thing, though, that is happening, and it's trending in the wrong way for Atlanta, and that is the play of Marcus Mariota. He is rudderless. So because of that, Falcons 30, Bears 29.
Same, but different. Bears 35, Falcons 12. Big
Beat
win down in Atlanta.
Homecoming for Mr. Fields, an Atlanta boy.
Let's go.
Next up, we stay in the NFC. The New York Football Giants, 7-2 on the year. Real tough one. Maybe the Detroit Lions come to town. 3-6. Lions, big win last week. Zagura, what say you?
I'm 0-4 of the Giants. I think this season the lines never make sense to me, and
Never.
I always take the opposite because like how everybody it's too easy, and it's worked. And this week I'm doing it. So if the Giants lose, sorry for the jinx, but I think the Giants win this one 30-24. The G-Men.
Same. Giants are good. They handle this 37-30, 34-30.
They just got to get to 10 wins.
Yeah.
Got to find a way.
Yeah,
just get to 10 wins.
They'll get it this week.
All right. Up next, Los Angeles, the Rams. 3-6 on the season, visiting 3-7 New Orleans. Brutal. At some point, the Saints will realize they need to start Jameis, but in the meantime, Andy Dalton.
He can't stand him. Allen must not be able to stand him.
There's something.
I don't know. Bishop, lead us off.
I mean, this sucks. This game sucks.
Yep.
This is brutal. I will say this. In the words of Rudy Tomjanovich,
wow.
Never underestimate the heart of a champion.
Rudy
Stafford in a dome, no cup, everybody doubting him. Just ram it.
Same. Andy Dalton shouldn't be giving points to anybody.
Never. Drilled by the Steelers.
Ram it.
No.
To the AFC East.
I feel like that's why it makes no sense that they are fair, which means they're probably going to win and cover. But it's an odd line. But I'm with you. Stafford's back. Come on, have a little pride.
Yeah.
Cover 3 against the Saints.
Come on.
Will Zach Wilson figure it out against Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots? Patriots 5-4, hosting 6-3 New York. The football Jets coming to Foxborough. And Nathan Zagura, the floor is yours.
Pretty sure both teams are coming off their bye weeks.
Correct.
Styles make the fights in the NFL, and Bill Belichick has the style for the fight against Zach Wilson. Now he's got an extra week to game plan to befuddle the young man. I'm not a big fan of this New England team.
No.
But I do think they get it done against the Jets. I'd love it if the hook wasn't there, but I think they do anyway. 29-20.
Yeah,
Patriots.
I see it the same as you. Jets. They beat the Jets in New York 22-17 a couple of weeks ago. Then the end with the Colts with Frank Reich, and then the bye week, the extra week. Wilson's pretty feckless. I like the Pats too in this one. Same.
All right, guys. We move on, and this number has changed. It's now 6.5. 6.5. As Jeff Saturday, boy, had a great week. Lots of parades, lots of big moments. Colts are 4-5-1. Well, you get to welcome in the 7-1 Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry, 8-1 Philadelphia Eagles to town. Eagles fresh off that Monday night loss to Washington. Bo Bishop.
I like this. I like this before. I like this a little bit more now, even so. The Colts got their 1 week bump. Ryan's back. Taylor's back. A little bit of momentum. Everybody's emotional for Jeff Saturday. And now, welcome back to the National Football League. The Eagles rebound. I love the fact that this went down a half point. I like the Eagles. I think it's a decent game. I like the Eagles 28-20.
Same. One concern on the Eagles side is that, no Dallas Goedert offensively, but defensively in the interior, how quickly can Joseph and Sue get up to speed? They were gashed. Could Jonathan Taylor hurt them in the middle? I think Sue's ready to go. I think they'll be just fine, and I think that they can get after Matt Ryan. They could sack him 80 times in this game. I'm saying with you. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Up next, the Houston Texans, 1-7-1, really pushing the pedal to the metal for that number 1 pick. They've lost 4 in a row. They welcome in the Commies, 5-5 on the season. Don't look now, but here comes Washington. Zagura.
Don't like a road dog, especially against the Texans. However, or a road a team that is a home dog. I'm sorry, being the Texans. But I like the football team. I like Robinson. I like Gibson. I like their defensive line. Hopefully we'll see Chase Young back this week. Heineke's frisky. They got Terry McLaurin. I think the football team, I'm surprised that the line's actually as low as it is. Football team, 7. Houston, 1.
Bishop.
Same. Print it.
Oh, God, we have
I don't like that we're thinking we're talking a lot of the same, which is, I don't know, worked out well a couple of weeks ago.
It worked out well a few weeks ago. Yeah,
you do these independent. I try not to listen. I see it the same way. I don't understand it. I think Washington's a good squad. Heineke, they got life, man.
A little bit of life.
A little bit of life.
Here's a game featuring 2 teams that had big expectations that have done absolutely bupkis. The Denver Broncos, 3-6 on the year, hosting the 2-7 Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders have lost 3 in a row. They are 0-5 on the road. Derek Carr will probably cry after this one as
poor guy.
Well, Bishop.
So Broncos Country Let's Ride is using Seahawk. Did you ever see this report this week? He's using Seahawk audibles at the line of scrimmage, and nobody in Denver knows what the hell he's talking about. Like they're looking around and they, run pass, guys, run pass, run pass.
What does that mean?
I don't know what you're talking.
What is he doing?
Hot route. I don't know what that means. Go stand over there. I mean, this is what's happening with the national.
And they paid him a lot of money.
And he's just the beginning of it. That said, no, you got no Renfro. Waller. There's nobody to throw
gets
to.
A vote of confidence from the team and the owner.
Broncos 3, Raiders 0.
Ugh. Bitch.
Gross.
I hate this game so much. Broncos 3, Raiders 1.
Oh, God.
Up next, we go to the AFC North. This was originally Sunday Night Football. It has been moved. It has been flexed. The Squealers, 3-6, hosting the 5-4 Cincinnati Bengals. Zagura.
No Jamar still?
No Jamar.
When's he coming back?
I
don't know.
He hasn't practiced.
When's he coming
I'm not sure
back?
if he practiced today. I mean, this was the one where he had to be, or else why not put him on IR, right?
Yeah. Right, they should have. I mean, I guess they were hopeful. They were optimistic. I know that the Steelers just beat the Saints. These aren't the Saints. Bengals, huge.
Bishop?
Yeah, this line went from 3.5 to 4. Doesn't change my view of it at all. I think the Bengals will do just fine. They're coming off the bye week. I like them big in this one as well.
I'm looking. I don't see an injury update from down there.
He has not practiced.
Oh.
By the way, my offensive player of the
he's
year,
not playing.
Justin Jefferson's looking better and better.
Yeah, you're in the mix.
In the mix.
Okay. This one on CBS.
Giving Josh McDaniels Coach of the Year. Not as hot.
It's America's Game of the Week. And it'll be Nance Romo calling 2 NFC teams. Weird. Vikings, 8-1 on the season, hosting the Dallas Cowboys, 6-3. Bishop.
I think the Cowboys got a little fat in the first half of the season. I think the Vikings are legitimately good. I don't understand. You're telling me a team that is 8-1 is not favored at home. I don't understand it. Vikings, hit the horn.
I'm with you. Already have written in. As a rule, I don't go against the Vikings. Don't do it. And I won't start now.
Final one. Sunday Night Foosball. It has been flexed. It is the Kansas City Chiefs, 7-2. The Los Angeles Chargers, 5-4. The Chiefs have won 3 in a row. Chiefs 3-1 away from Arrowhead. The Chargers 2-2. This will be a Chargers home game for all intents and purposes. Zagura.
Chiefs home games, you mean, yeah.
What was that?
You said Chargers home game. It'll be a Chiefs home game.
Yeah,
it'll
it's
be
a
a
Chargers
Chiefs
home
home
game. Yeah.
Sorry, I confused
That's
them.
all right.
Sorry.
Listen, no Juju Smith-Schuster, no McCole Hardman.
Nope.
Still got Kelsey. Kadarius Toney just arrived in the nick of time. Pat Mahomes leads the NFL in total touchdowns so far. Allen is second. He's got 26, does Mahomes. Chargers, though, reinforcements on the way. Keenan Allen.
Does he go? Is he go?
Mike Williams.
Are they goes?
Looks like they're both goes. So that makes me say,
oh, no. Who's at the back door?
Oh, no
down
way.
11 with
No
2 minutes
way.
to go. The Chargers take the field.
No way.
Bootsy, who's at the back door?
It's Justin Herbert, Dad. Let him in.
Zagura's back on the bandwagon.
Chiefs 99. Chargers 95.
Ruh-roh.
Chiefs 99, Chargers 93. By the way, it'd be amazing if Bootsy talked like the kid.
It would be. He should.
Like just in
It should
his
be part of his repertoire.
part of his operation.
I don't want to eat that, Dad.
Be sure to stop by free Twisted Tea Tailgate pregame party prior to every home game. Twisted Tea
Get me a
Tailgate,
snack.
located on the west side of First Energy Stadium, combines the atmosphere of a beer garden with live music, food, and drink options, along with areas for socializing. Twisted Tea Tailgate opens 4 hours prior to kickoff and is open to fans with a ticket to the game. Our score
The
coming up
nation.
next. Indeed. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Hey, Browns fans. Enter for your chance to win Browns season tickets, free Milk-Bone dog treats for a year and more. It's all courtesy of Milk-Bone, the official dog treat of the Cleveland Browns. Visit browns.com/milkbone to enter, then visit your local Meijer to check it all out. The varieties are there, the Milk-Bone dog treats. There you go. Us at Detroit v. Bills. Buckeyes are favored by 27.5. So
Do they do it?
Yeah, they cover. They've scored 56, 50, 49, 49, 54. Yeah, you're safe.
S is pleased with the state of their defense.
I think they'll just cruise control it a little bit. Get up big, cruise. Game next week. Undefeated. Michigan needs to take care of their business. That's probably the biggest. I don't even know what to make of that.
That was a great shot.
Suck.
That counts.
No, that does not count.
Are you nuts?
I don't know that counts.
Suck.
Hold on a second.
There's a lot on the ground over
Yep.
here.
And
Hold
it
on a
better-
second.
and It better all be picked up.
He's coming right for you.
If we're playing
Or you're on the bus
If
tomorrow.
we're playing beer pong and you make it into the cup and the cup topples over, that's
Well,
amazing.
number one, faux pas. You should have had the cup a little more full, and that's a penalty.
That's
what
why
about
it's
what if I
automatically
think it
in.
more of like a dunk that you would as you're going and you hit the rim, the whole standard falls,
Dunk.
and then
Balls through the
we'd
net.
have to go to like replay to see.
Balls through the net.
Well, some of the ball is out.
Most of the balls through the net.
Most is.
That's right.
Let's
Pick it
go. Come on.
I'm a believer. 27-26 Browns.
30.
Cade York from 69.
Jeez,
Walk off.
be amazing.
Listen, we saw Tucker from 66 there. What a better place to break the record.
Let's go. We're back Monday to break it all down. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850
You may hit your ride.